That is not a misprint. That's right. 3 attempts the whole night. There were more quarters than pass attempts from the Patriots. There were as many halves as pass completions for the Patriots, and they've won their 7th straight. It doesn't matter how. They are the ultimate chameleons. Every week they will do something different. They will do whatever it takes to get the W and check the box, and that's what they just did. 14-10. They ran it 32 straight times at one point in time, and it was enough. It was enough for the Patriots to get a W. And, these two teams are going to play again day after Christmas in Foxborough. But right now, New England goes into their bye week. Yeah, bye week. And they are full game and a half and the head-to-head against the Bills. Patriots the 1 seed right now. Bills the 7 seed. All right, everybody's here. 2-time Super Bowl champion Brian McFadden. He was with the Pittsburgh Steelers playing in their secondary. And Scott Pioli, of course, the 5-time NFL Executive of the Year, 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. B-Mac, I'll start with you. New England just won throwing it 3 times. They had 32 straight runs at one point in time. What the heck just happened?
Wow. I felt like New England would have success running the football, but man, I didn't think they would just totally abandon the run, especially when they had the wind behind them. But that was the game plan. They wanted to make sure they do everything to just slow down the pace of the ball game and just win first down and get into manageable third down situations. And we saw the issue for the Bills defense, right, against the Indianapolis Colts. They couldn't stop the run. They lost that battle at the line of scrimmage, and we saw that once again. I mean, to think of an NFL team winning a ball game with only 3 passing attempts in 4 quarters of play is unheard of, but Bill Belichick and his staff found a way to get it done just running the football, Pop Warner style.
That's what this was. This was like a high school game where one team said, we're just going to come out and physical you. How were they able to do this? It's hard to even formulate a question watching a game like this and seeing what they did. This offensive line, this plan, this idea that we can run it 32 straight times and still win the game. How did this happen?
Well, in addition to the way that they played, and there was a mentality. We saw some plays where the offensive line, there was pushing, there was shoving. They went in with a mentality, just like they have in the last several games. But the other thing that I saw that was really interesting tonight was the use of the fullback, Jakob Johnson. They used him in the I formation and a lead block more often, particularly on the big run early on. They used him and used him well. They went into this game. Everyone was talking before the game, hey, how are we going to use Mac Jones? Mac Jones has never played in this weather. What are we going to do? Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to line up an I formation. We're going to put Jakob Johnson there, and we're going to run the ball, and we're going to hit you right in the mouth with our fullback. And he did a tremendous job against the Buffalo linebackers all evening. Now, again, going back, Eric, pregame, the big talk was, well, Mac Jones has never played in weather like this. What are we going to get? We have no idea.
He still hasn't played in weather like this.
And that's it, exactly. So what do? You accentuate the positive and you limit the limitations. And they don't even know if it's a limitation of Mac Jones yet. But why throw the kid to the wolves, right? And to me, this is typical New England football. Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, they did what they knew was going to be smart football. Why try to find out when you're battling for first place in December whether or not the kid can do it? So they put the ball in the – listen, guys, we're going to line up and come at you. And we're going to O-line, take it to them, fullback, let's go. This is what our game plan is going to be. And they did it.
I thought their brilliance was really in the first and third quarter. When Buffalo had the good wind, New England had these long, time-consuming drives. That's when they scored a long touchdown run with Harris to get the lead. And Josh Allen basically sat on his helmet during the 2 quarters he had the good wind. And when he didn't have the good and he's throwing into the wind, they were like, go ahead, now it's your turn. And Buffalo still tried to throw it. B-Mac, take me in the huddle of the Buffalo defense. You were in NFL huddles on the field. That's how you made your living. We're in the huddle and we're like, we know they're running it. They're not even trying to throw it. What are we doing? Are they finger pointing? Are they saying, hey, how was Buffalo? What was the talk like as they're running it 48 times against them and they can't stop it?
It probably wasn't a lot of talking. It was more frustration than anything because, like you said, you knew exactly what you were going to get from the New England Patriots, and you had no way to stop them. The issue with Buffalo is not about effort. It's not about guys just, trying to do someone else's job. They're too small. They're too small. Look at some of the teams that have had success against the Buffalo Bills. Let's go back to early in the year against the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, I understand that's Derrick Henry, but think about how Derrick Henry just took the ball game away from the Buffalo Bills. They lost that ball game. A few weeks ago, Jonathan Taylor had success as well. So now the story is out on how to defeat the Buffalo Bills. You don't want to run east and west. You don't want to attack the sideline. You want to run right down the teeth of their defense because right now they're too little. The personnel is too small to be able to uphold that battle for 4 quarters. And that's what the New England Patriots did. They basically combined the offensive ground game from Tennessee and the Colts and put it all in one pot together with some other spices and said, this is what we're going to give you guys, and let's see if you can handle this, even though it's very, very spicy.
You know what? People say it about the Rams in the NFC, too. These were 2 Super Bowl favorites and choices, and someone on this set picked the Rams and the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. And that's my concern now for my preseason pick, that both defenses have been able to run on. They're both a little small and maybe need to bow their neck a little bit despite the size.
Eric, and here's the interesting thing. When you're the Buffalo Bills and you know that you're going to be playing December football, late November, December football, and hopefully January football in your own stadium, and you know that you're going to have to do this, your defense has to be built to take on what they think that they're going to take on, which is a running game. And they are undersized a little bit. One thing they are extremely tough, right? There's no doubt, as you said, B-Mac, about their toughness. They're a tough team, but they are not very big. And then every once in a while, like you said, they took it right down into their teeth. But every once in a while, what they did with the Patriots was they sealed the edge with N'Keal Harry, caught the edge just enough to get a few of those outside runs to keep them honest. So to me, it was an interesting game plan, but I think something needs to be done about that Buffalo defense if they're going to be playing winning football this time.
I don't know if they're going to grow or get heavier. I mean, no, they ain't going to get bigger before the end of the year.
I am. For sure. I mean, hey, it's the holidays. I'm getting bigger before the end of the year.
B-Mac can take us in the huddle. You have the unique ability that you can take us into sort of Bill Belichick's office after one of these wins. You part a lot of them. So after Bill warms up, takes a nice hot shower, meets the media, is done with that, and you walk in and you go, well, what's he thinking right now?
I think what he's thinking is he's very positive. That was an important game on the road in December. We got the win. We played the game in the context that we needed to play it with based on the elements. Good win, good division win. And to me, they're looking at a bye week. I think they're going to take some time. Bill's going to give them some extra time. He's going to give them time. They just had that mini bye, right? Not too long ago. He's going to give the players a little time. He's going to give their coaches a little time.
Not a lot of incompletions and clocks sort of running. There were a lot of times everybody, put the leather to each other.
Absolutely. And Bill is all about big boy football. He loves that, but he also knows how to rest his teams and his veterans. So I think they'll do that. And the other thing is they've got 4 games left, but one of those 4 games is against Buffalo, so they won't have to do a whole lot of research on that team. So really, they've got 3 teams that they have to work on in terms of preparation. So to me, they'll start working on some of that other stuff with the bye week, getting prepared for these last 3 games.
B-Mac, is getting the bye right now, if you're New England, a good thing? I mean, and you say, well, what do you mean? Well, they've won 7 in a row. And when you're rolling, you want to keep rolling. You're in a routine, it's working, you don't want to change, right? Or is the idea, look, anytime I can get a week off to have those bumps and bruises heal, anytime I can get a week off to take a deep breath before I kick this stretch run into gear, I want it. Is the bye now for New England more of a positive or a negative?
More of a positive. I mean, you have some guys that are probably mentally fatigued, and the same can be said about the body. We saw Damian Harris leave the game, I think, with a lower body injury. You would like to have him healthy, especially for this long stretch to try to get into the postseason. Yes, they're hot right now. They're hot, but they've earned the right to have this bye, and there's nothing better than having a bye coming off a big-time win against your divisional rival. And I know Scott knows all about that. It makes the bye feel even better when you just beat a team that's chasing you right within your division on the road. And now the next time you get them right at the crib in your own backyard. So yes, the bye is very, very important right now based on how physical this game was. No question. This is the ideal time to have the bye because you just took care of a divisional foe.
Look, one thing that happens in this world, not just with sports and shows and any of that, is everybody overreacts to the most recent thing, right? Recency bias, prisoner of the moment, whatever you want to call it. But this was an unusual game because the conditions were so different and unusual.
Yeah.
What did we learn tonight that we can take long-term or going forward, or not much?
I don't think we learned a whole lot to take forward other than that we know that the Patriots have matured very, very quickly, Eric, and the fact is they're going to play however they have to play based on, again, the context of the opponent in a matchup and the conditions in a matchup. To me, they play like a very mature football team because they had to shift a lot of things tonight and change things up. And what they showed is that Bill Belichick has a team again that he can count on being able to be prepared for anything. In terms of Buffalo, I'm not sure how much we learned because again, there's so much that had to do with the weather tonight. You can't take it's a bit of an anomaly, Eric.
Okay, I'll take that, and I like the fact that we don't always have to come up with these massive wholesale judgments after every game, moving it from there. B-Mac, you're getting this one. True or false? The New England Patriots are the best team in the AFC. Not as good as anybody. They are better than everybody in the AFC. True or false?
True. Ike, I said that last night right there with you in person before they beat Buffalo without throwing the ball. Yes, they're the best team. They have the best coach in the AFC. And then when you combine that with a better personnel than what Belichick has had, especially a year ago, and everyone is healthy and they're dialed in, no question. They just beat a playoff caliber team on the road throwing 3 passes. 3 passes. Think about that. And he didn't complete all 3 passes. I think he had a mediocre day. He was 2 for 3. Think about that. The mighty Josh Allen, the Thor of the NFL, lost to a quarterback that only had 3 attempts. They're the best team in the AFC. Print the T-shirts.
And they're going to get time off, and then they're going to get to go and make a little push for the stretch run. Remember, right now, only the top seed this year gets the bye. So being the number 1 seed, very important. Can't lose what you don't have to put in the middle, quote Rounders. Whoever's the 1 seed won't have to play that first weekend. 7 playoff teams, not 6. Only the top seed, not the top 2, get the bye. Well done, Brian McFadden, Scott Pioli. Excellent work as always. So, yep, there you go. Running away with it. They were 2-4, remember? 2-4? And you're like, oh, boy. They lost some tough games. Lost to Brady, and we're like, oh, the plucky little Patriots. It would have been nice if they won. Guess what? They may be a better bet to win their conference right now than Brady is to win his conference. That's how hot they are. Red hot. Averaging over 32 points a game, and that includes tonight in the wind when they only scored 14. Mac Jones' mom won't have to watch her uniform. They only threw it 3 times. Here.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.